Hey, everybody, welcome to the Gootz cast for Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. It's the TNA, fuck you, it's the TNA Impact post show with me and Andrew Lee. Why do you have a mug with yourself on it?
I know. Don't you like it? It's a mug with myself and my best friend Majit on it. Can you see it? There it is. Yeah, best friends. Shout out to Majit.
Boy, I don't have any items with my friends on it. Let me just tell you something. I did not realize now that we're doing Tuesday nights post show for Impact, the greatest company in the world. I did not realize how much wrestling's on Tuesday. So let's review. You've got not only do you have TNA Impact, you have Impact Wrestling. What the fuck do you want to call it?
Impact.
You have NWA Superpower tonight, which was an hour and a half. You have AEW, which was almost an hour and a half. AEW Dark. You have WrestleMania 3, then WWE Backstage, which was on if you like old school. You also have Dark Side of the Ring tonight.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm gonna watch that.
yeah, I had to catch up on that. And then we also have on BN Sports right now a rerun of MLW at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, don't watch that. I watched this week's. It was awful.
Conceivably tonight, you could have watched NWA Power, AEW Dark, TNA Impact. What did I say? Oh, MLW, WWE Backstage, and then I don't know. I guess go on the network and watch WrestleMania 3, then Dark Side of the Ring, and you'd basically spend 12 straight hours watching wrestling of just stuff that aired today.
Yeah, but if you want to watch like new content, like new wrestling matches, it would just be Impact Wrestling, AEW Dark, and NWA Superpower. MLW, they aired that on Saturday, so technically it's a repeat.
No, I know, but it's just that the fact that it's on.
Yeah, today you got your fill of wrestling, which I needed. So it was good.
Yeah, because we didn't think enough wrestling the last 2 days. So
I love wrestling.
I just want to Tammy Lynn Sitch put up a status today saying that she thinks that Vince will put a no pregnancy clause in all the women's contracts. Because she's like, why should Vince get behind you if you're going to get pregnant and then take off after he's made you like the next Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Tammy Lynn wrote this on Twitter? She tweeted
Facebook.
this? On Facebook. Okay. Keeping it old school. All right.
But I kind of get that. Like, they did invest a lot of time. This is what I think. I'm doing something, and I looked into it, and I looked in, like, how soon after you have sex can you get pregnant? And they said it can, you will notice your body will become pregnant sometimes as soon as like a few hours after sex or like a few days. So if you have sex on Tuesday, you might not be pregnant till Friday. So I think this was the deliberate move on Becky Lynch's part. But here's the deal. I don't think Becky Lynch wants to wrestle, wants to be around for this fucking pandemic. I think she wanted to be out. I don't think she wanted to sit at home, though. Like, I just don't want to do it because I think Vince would have been like, and not given her the push. I think she got pregnant deliberately so she could be out. And then by the time she comes back, which will be summer 2021, hopefully this will be behind us, and then she can return as the conquering hero and come back for a big payday at SummerSlam and WrestleMania in 2022. And if there's still a pandemic, she can use the kid as an excuse to sit out until the crowds come back, if we still have a pandemic next summer.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I heard that Vince Jr. is also putting a no leukemia clause in the contract too. Yeah,
you can't prevent leukemia. You can prevent pregnancy. All she has to do is like, Seth, come in my face like you do every night.
I'm not gonna build a star and then all of a sudden have him go out for leukemia.
Yeah, but you can't stop leukemia. You can stop fucking. You cannot get pregnant. You don't get like Becky Lynch wasn't just walking down the street all of a sudden. I'm pregnant. Oh,
I don't think he's gonna put a no pregnancy clause.
I don't think he is either. But I do think Becky Lynch got pregnant on purpose because this is the perfect way she wanted to have a kid. She can have a kid. She can take 2 years off and still come back in her prime and make probably bigger money because then Vince will see her as a savior when the crowds come back and the ratings don't go up. And then she'll be like, oh, I'm ready to wrestle. And then, oh my God, and they'll shove her on TV. And she'll be treated like she's Triple H with titties.
Probably, we'll see.
We'll see. Only time. I mean, she might die during the corona.
We'll see what happens.
Sorry, my friend's wrong.
It's okay.
She might die. That was all I want to talk about.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, her getting that dick on purpose.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. So I've never watched an episode of NWA Power, and then today Billy Corgan said he had a big announcement at the end, so I figured I'd watch it, not knowing it was the hour and a half. Did you watch this whole thing?
Yeah. So NWA Power is actually, for a while, was one of my favorite wrestling shows.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to watch it, you can easily watch it. There's only 21 episodes on YouTube. Episodes are sometimes as short as 30 minutes. Some of that, you can binge watch the whole thing. Today was something they called, but the thing is the past few weeks, they haven't been really airing, like because of the pandemic, they haven't been airing really like new content. They just been like condensing things and doing recaps. So this is the first time they had like new content in like probably since this happened. And this was a super power, meaning it's an extra long episode of Power, because NWA Power is usually like less than an hour, and it was supposed to be the culmination of what they were building towards.
The
And
Crockett Cup. Yeah.
yeah, this was what you want me to just run through it real quick?
Yeah, yeah. Just give a quick run through because I really want to talk about Impact more than this thing. So.
Okay. We had about 5 matches. First match is Camille versus Mandy Max. This is actually a repeat match. This whole segment was repeat from their April 21st episode.
Can I just say real quick? That was weird they did that. I thought it was new on this one. I like Camille. Do you like Camille? I think she's got a future.
What I would recommend, actually, I mean, if you don't know who Camille is, watch the April 21st episode or watch tonight's episode.
They did a lot. They had a package on her and everything.
Yeah, it gives you a whole package about her. There's a lot of talent on NWA Power where if NWA ever went away, a lot of them should get signed. She is definitely one of them. The only thing is, the whole time of NWA Power, they were never letting her speak, and she had that like China-esque mystique where she's not talking, she's just the power.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, like I hear her speak, and yeah, her voice is not that great.
No, she gave like this big speech, and I'm like, that's probably not her, because she had red hair in the video, and I'm like, oh, why'd you dye your hair? You look like a fucking idiot.
She should have kept it white, but Camille is great. If you don't know who Camille is, look her up. She's great.
Yeah, she was really good. I liked. They really put her over. So, but after that, I don't know. It kind of. I mean, look, I think the production values on this were way better than TNA tonight. But let's keep going.
Oh, absolutely, I agree with that. Then second match was Aaron Stevens, formerly Damian Sandow, and his tag team partner, the Question Mark, which is one of the best parts about NWA Power, versus the Rock and Roll Express. Rock and Roll Express wins with a bullshit finish because they push they push Damian Sandow over. He gets covered, he gets for a pin. I gotta stop watching Rock and Roll Express wrestle. They're just too old, man. They're too old.
I actually fell asleep during this match. I drifted off, so I'm sorry.
By the way, the Question Mark is a lot of fun. He's so much fun in the NWA Power shows. This one, he was not the spotlight wasn't on him this time, but he's very, very fun. The coolest part was when they brought in Question Mark Jr., which was like a 450-pound guy, which I thought was really funny. 450 mangroves is what his weight was.
Okay.
And then you had third match was Jax Dane versus Tim Storm in a no DQ fight.
This was good.
Yeah, he's a huge dude. He used to be Will Cox in Impact in TNA Wrestling. Tim Storm wins with his Perfect Storm, which is basically, it's Wade Barrett's old Winds of Change finishing move. It's like the spinning Boss Man Slam. Then you had a Mae Valentine's diary segment. I don't know if you know who
this one. She stinks.
No, this is great, dude. There's an episode of NWA Power where they just do all her segments in one. She is so good. It's such a parody on like the Instagram people. It's so funny. You'll love it. It's a parody.
Okay. This one was I didn't really kind of get it, but okay, keep going.
Then you had Tasha Steelz versus Marty Bell versus Ashley Box. Tasha Steelz wins. It's a regular match.
Yeah, it was fine.
Then you had the main event, which was Aldis versus Aldous and Latimer versus Marty Scurll and Brody King. So they've been doing this thing where ROH is kind of trying to come invade NWA, and this is kind of a little bit of a culmination. Good match, not the best match, but this was a good match. It ends with a low blow on Brody King, and then Aldous does an elbow drop from the top rope. And then Aldous and Latimer wins. Latimer used to be Bram on Impact Wrestling. He used to be married to Charlotte, who accused him of beating her.
Yes, I remember that. Remember those days. Hey, I gotta say, my first time really seeing what's his name talk, Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
Not impressed. He seems very small time.
His talking is not that impressive, but his character and his presentation of the character is what really sells him.
I kind of get why AEW isn't like salivating to get him, because everybody was like, how can you not have him in AEW? And I kind of get why after seeing him.
I think it was him who didn't want to go.
But I also kind of like if that was like the one guy I couldn't get when I made a deal with the Elite, and they were like, "Well, Marty Scurll's not going to come over," I would have been like, whatever. I would have been like, okay, that's fine. We got Kenny Omega and Cody.
Yeah. His work rate's pretty good. I like his work rate.
I'm sure his matches are good, but I just was not. It felt very Eddie Gilbert. It felt very corny. You know, I did like Eddie Kingston's promo. That guy is money. That guy reminds me of Cisco.
That was actually not one of Eddie Kingston's
No,
best
it wasn't
promos.
one of his best. He was like holding back.
But it wasn't bad either. I can't say it was bad. Yeah.
I don't think he can cut a bad promo. I don't think it's in him.
Yeah. Eddie Kingston basically is cutting a promo on Hope D'Angelo Dinero, who used to be Elijah Burke in WWE, because they got a feud going. Nothing happened tonight for them except for that little package.
No. And then let's talk about the big announcement.
Yeah, the big announcement at the end. By the way, in the beginning of the show, Billy Corgan starts off the show, talks about it, and at the end, it's Billy Corgan again, and he says, obviously, we want to give you guys live content in the studio. We can't do that because of the pandemic, but we don't want to just end it because you guys have been with us through this whole journey. You guys been through us with 10 pounds of gold, power, and now we're going to bring you an idea we had originally a long time ago, and the only thing we know about it is that it's called Carneyland. What do you think this is? This is all. I mean, this is what. And by the way, it's starting next week. Next week, it's going to start.
I think it's like a parody of an old '80s TV show or something. I get this sense like Carneyland, meaning like kayfabe, old-fashioned, how wrestlers would treat things like they're carnies. I kind of think this is going to be like really. I think it's going to be like a shitty sketch that never ends. That's what I think. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a really bad sketch show or something.
Wow! I was not thinking that.
What are you thinking Carneyland is? That they're in a circus?
I thought it was going to be a wrestling show, but I think you're right. I think you might be more.
I think it's going to be like a parody of like how wrestlers acted backstage in the '80s. Like they're going to like really go. It's going to be like what do they call it? The parody wrestling thing they have that WWE did.
Oh, Southpaw.
So I think it's going to be like Southpaw wrestling. That's what I think.
I could only take like 1 or 2 episodes at Southpaw. I couldn't watch anymore.
I mean, or unless like they found like a circus and they're gonna have, because Carney to me, like, you know, because the Bruce Pritchard story where it's like, you want to learn about wrestling, watch the movie Carney, and you know they talk Carney. You know, in the old days you would talk Carney to someone. You know, you weren't really talk English, so you could talk about like plans in front of like civilians. I think it's going to be like a very insider parody thing, like it's something like if Jim Cornette wrote a sketch show. This would what this fucking stupid thing is going to be. We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Did you see that Tony Falk commercial in NWA Power?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like
He's like, I'm Tony Falk. I'm the guy who taught Shawn Michaels Carney. That's what.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that. It's going to be like jokes like that. That's what I think it's going to be.
Taught Shawn Michaels Carney.
But we'll find out next week. Now let's get to the main event. You know, all the Impact fans have tuned in to see our Impact post show. We're gonna break it down. Andrew Lee, let's start off with this episode.
Yeah, this was my first time watching Impact in real time in a very, very long years, and I was expecting the worst. It wasn't that bad. It starts off with this fantastic
Oh, the
Moose
video was
video
amazing.
package. I saw this earlier in this like the weekend, but
Hmm.
it's a great video package. It makes Moose look great, and it's also very funny. It uses a lot of old content. It's very funny. You got to
Old
check it
interview
out.
footage from with Jeff Jarrett and
Oh,
Bubba Ray and Hulk Hogan. So
oh,
funny.
and that Bobby
They got the
Roode.
old TNA narrator.
Yeah, and they're obviously talking about someone who's not Moose, but they cut it so it looks like they're talking about Moose.
Yeah.
And basically, the storyline, if for those of you guys don't know, it's no longer called TNA Wrestling. It's called Impact Wrestling. The championship belt is the Impact Championship belt, but they still have a physical TNA title, and Moose is now just the self-proclaimed TNA champion.
He's decided he's a champion of TNA.
Yeah, he's just decided he's TNA champion, which is
Which
funny,
which is
very
good.
funny.
Which is good.
Moose will not win you over with work rate, but
No,
on
no, he
Impact,
won't.
he's been very entertaining.
He will not win you over work rate.
No,
No, not a lot of people win me over work rate.
yeah,
Let's go to this. Was I know you said it wasn't that bad. I thought there were things here that were very bad.
probably. So basically, there was a lot. They were doing a number one contenders tournament. First
Mhm.
matchup is a number one contender tournament match. It is Madman Fulton, from you guys might recognize him from NXT.
Who
He
was he in
was
there? In that
he was Fulton Sawyer. No, Fulton Sawyer. He was
he
in
was
NXT.
Insanity, right?
No, he was not.
No, okay,
He wasn't, but he was in NXT. His name was like Fulton something.
okay.
Yeah. He was fighting against um, Hercules Hernandez. No, not Hercules Hernandez.
Just
Hot Stuff
Hernandez.
Hernandez. Hernandez, yeah, who was rehired back in the company. Two big men, just two big men going at it. Um, there was a moment where Hernandez threw. So um, Fulton is aligned with Ohio versus everybody,
Yeah.
and he picked up Jake Chris Hernandez did, and he threw him into Fulton in front of the referee, and somehow that was not a disqualification. And basically, Hernandez won with a top rope body splash. What did you think?
I don't know why Hernandez is going over. They should be pushing
Fulton?
Fulton. I think Fulton looked more better in this match. Why is he putting over Hernandez? Hernandez couldn't get over when they actually had viewers. Now no one's watching this fucking thing, and they brought this guy back. No one was asking for this guy to come back. Where was this guy?
Oh, Hernandez is more over than Fulton is. Fulton can't
But
wrestle. He's
Fulton's.
slow.
I think Fulton's worthy of investment before Hernandez.
I don't know. I don't see anything in him. He hasn't
Then get
shown
rid
me.
of him if you're gonna have him lose to the old fucking Hernandez. Dude, Hernandez couldn't even bring it when he was wrestling Kurt Angle back in like 11 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. If it was up to me,
Listen to me, they should even have this match then.
I don't know if they should have had this match, but it was just like big man versus big man thing.
Yeah. Also, TNA. I mean, whatever the fuck you call this stupid
Impact.
I still call it TNA. Impact was very exposed with no crowd and those two ding dongs doing the commentary. You
This
know,
is
like
this is the worst commentary team right now.
right
Josh
now because
Matthews.
there's nothing to distract you from them. Whereas like WWE,
Yeah.
even their commentary isn't that bad during this. And like the least they interact with the wrestlers, the least the SmackDown guys do.
At least they have like chemistry.
These two
What?
and these two are married, right?
No, I don't think they're married.
Yeah,
Josh Matthews and
didn't he marry an
Madison.
Impact? Didn't he marry one of the female wrestlers?
Well, if they're married, they have terrible chemistry together.
Let's see.
Madison Rain is trying to be a heel commentator, and everything that she says is basically trying to contradict
Yeah, he's married to Madison
Josh,
Rayne.
Josh Matthews. Oh well, it's a terrible combo.
Yeah, they're not good.
I can only imagine what their conversations are like. Josh Matthews, you can tell that he is phoning it in.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be. Neither one of them want to be there.
Yeah, neither want to be. He's just burned out. He doesn't get excited about anything. He just he's one of the worst commentators right now. It's the worst commentating team, but the commentary wasn't the only thing that was bad. A lot of promos were not that good. You had a
We'll get to that. We'll get to
yeah, we had a Michael Elgin promo.
This was fine. This was okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I can't stand his voice. I don't feel the intensity when you hear his voice.
I heard like Dave Meltzer go on and on about. So many people went on and on about him, and I really didn't watch New Japan. Then when I saw him, like this guy looks like a plumber. Like,
His work rate is good.
okay.
He's pretty powerful. Then you
But the
had
other thing is, like, you're watching like Hernandez. This is my other thing too. It's like I like Tessa's the champion, but you're watching like Hernandez and Ken Shamrock and Michael Elgin, and you're thinking to yourself like, it's gonna look really bad. Like, let's say like Hernandez wins, right?
Mhm.
It's gonna look really bad him just beating the shit out of Tessa, but it's also gonna look really bad when Tessa beats him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I don't think Hernandez is winning.
no, but I'm just saying if you had a match with Hernandez and Tessa, and
Yeah.
he's like tossing her around the ring like she's a pile of shit, that looks fucking horrendous. It doesn't look believable. Like a Hernandez Tessa Blanchard, as much as I like Tessa Blanchard, and I'm not saying Hernandez is winning, but a Hernandez Tessa Blanchard match should literally be 3 seconds. He should hit her with the big boot, do the border toss, pin her, and they should carry out and she has to be in the hospital for 6 fucking months. Because if they go back and forth, it's gonna look so fucking stupid. So anyway.
If anyone's ever watched Lucha Underground and watched it when Sexy Star was their top champion and she fought Mills Mertes, who is Ricky Banderas, who used to be in Impact Wrestling, actually, you'll see that's exactly what it looks so bad how such a small person can go up
Yeah,
against it
it
doesn't look
worked. It
realistic.
worked with Sammy Callahan because he was able to like make himself look like such a creep that you could see like a creepy like loser.
And Sammy's not a big guy.
Sammy's not a big guy, but if
Yeah.
Hernandez or even Ken Shamrock just looks like this mean old man, and it would just look so stupid if he started selling for her, like or even Rhino, it would look dumb, like oh god, Tessa.
It's gonna look
Like
bad.
Jake Christ was fine, Ace Austin, but like I don't know, like
Hmm.
that's the thing though. They have all these giant men, and it's
Yeah.
like how. Like if I was Hernandez, right? This is like real. If I was, and this little girl's a champion, I would literally just kick her in the fucking head backstage, like meet me in the ring. Like this is ridiculous. Like it would be like if you Samoa Joe versus Liv Morgan.
Mhm.
Like what do you think's gonna happen?
You know what it is? I'm all for equal rights.
I like intergender matches, but there's some male wrestlers that it looks horrendous if they do it.
Yeah, like there's something about like even though we say like oh everybody's equal, we should treat everybody the same way, and wrestling's not real, so we could have it. Something about the visual of a man beating up a woman still is a little cringy. It
But
still
like,
reminds you of domestic abuse.
but like it works with certain wrestlers. But like if Hernandez's win is fighting in a tournament, so he can beat up a woman. Like you know, they like that shouldn't be a challenge for a guy like Hernandez. Anyway.
Anyways, we had Fulton. Speaking of Fulton and Hernandez, Fulton's mad because he lost to Hernandez. He's flipping out backstage, and then along comes Crazy Steve, who just got re-signed with the company. I don't know if you remember. He used to be in Decay with Abyss.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
and then he quit the company to go get to a tryout in WWE. Didn't make the tryout, and then just didn't have a job. He used to be in NWA for a little bit, but now he's back. I like Crazy Steve. He's a good wrestler. So
I like him, but this segment was kind of corny.
Yeah, I think it was just to show like Crazy Steve is around.
You know what it is? The production values in the back makes it look like somebody's shooting it on their phone or something. Like all the backstage stuff tonight looked really bad.
I think it is being shot on a phone.
Yeah, it's like guys, like your Impact. You had Hogan, Sting. Like why are you shooting things on like a Nora roll anyway, it was bad, the segment.
Yeah. All right, match number 2. You had Kylie Ray, formerly of AEW, going up against Tasha Steelz, who's doing double duty tonight. She was on NWA Power, and she's on Impact tonight.
Yeah. And
Kylie Ray beats Tasha Steelz with her STF, which is smile to the finishing move.
I like this match. I like Kylie Ray. It is weird. Something weird went down in AEW, right? Because Cody was like ready to fucking push her to the moon.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Yeah, Kylie Ray was supposed to be the face of the women's division in the very beginning, and after a pay-per-view, I forget which one it was. She
It was
asked
an
for her
early one.
release. Yeah,
Mhm.
she asked for her release and she got it. And everybody was kind of like confused as to what it was. They thought maybe she was going to WWE. She didn't. And she didn't even sign with Impact. She signed with Impact just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was some kind of sexual harassment and she didn't feel safe and she left. But since then, I think she's come out and said something about like how I don't think she wanted to do the travel or something.
I don't think it's a lot of you know what it's a lot of pressure
It's a
to
lot of
be
pressure, yeah.
the face of the company,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think she would have been. I think she would have excelled in AEW though because she was really good here, but also I don't know.
If nobody knows who she is, she's like the Bailey's old gimmick. Super
Yeah.
happy, super huggy, yeah.
All right.
But bigger than Bailey.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
good match though. This was good.
it was all right. This was Tasha's. Just a lot of people made their like debuts tonight on Impact, and Tasha Steelz was her debut, I think.
Okay.
And you had a Rohit Raju promo, which I
This was
really
awful.
no,
Awful.
I like this. I like
I
this.
don't like it.
If you Rohit is very underrated guy, and he was going like, I've been in this company for 3 years, watching guys
And who
get out.
even knew?
Yeah, and he
Who
was
even
like, it's my
knows?
first time getting an opportunity. And I was like, yeah. You know what sucked? Not this. The thing right after this, where Kylie Ray meets Susie, and she's like, "Hi, my name's Kylie Ray again," and she's like, "Your last name is again?" Because no, my last name is
Oh,
Ray,
this
and
was
she's like,
brutal.
"Oh, like
Who is
sunshine."
who is that woman that was talking to Kylie Ray?
Susie, she was brought in by Su Young. I don't know if you remember Su Young. She was
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
she's
She's just signed the deal with them. So
she resigned. She resigned
yeah.
with them. How can this was worse, way worse than that Rohit thing. This was Rohit
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, this was
The
terrible.
Rohi thing was a little bit too long and like.
It was too long, but it was because this is the first time he's actually getting any kind of any kind of push.
Well, I think he
That's
should.
why.
I think he should lose the promo timer. No more
Um,
promos for him.
match number 3, making her debut, Kimberly. Um, I hate that name. Kimberly versus Jessica Havoc. And Jessica Havoc, if you don't know, is huge. She's like the monster in
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling. Because every women's division needs to have a monster. She's the main monster in Impact. And Havoc has majority of this match. She gets distracted by Navia, who's doing the Dexter Loomis gimmick, where she's just standing and just staring at somebody. The finish was so hokey. Kimberly gets some brass knuckles, and she's trying to hide it from the referee, but clearly you could totally tell she's hiding something. She's just waiting for the opportune moment where the ref just not looking, and then she hits her. She hits Jessica Havoc with the brass knucks, but she can't seem to
Yeah.
get it off her hand, so she
Yeah.
has to like hide it and go for the cover. And the ref is trying to raise her hand. She's like, like she can't. She's like, nah, don't raise my hand. This match was terrible. Kimberly wins, but it was terrible.
This was terrible. Also, this is my problem with the match is that you had Jessica Havoc treating Kimberly like a jobber, hitting all these power moves on her. Kimberly keeps kicking out and then
Mm-hmm.
cheats. So I get this is Kimberly's debut, but
Get
then
it?
why are you having her defeat the monster of the company? That's literally like having like last night if like a woman debuted on Raw and then beat Shayna Baszler. Even by
Yeah,
cheating, it's like, well, then what is there now for her to do? Like, or beat Becky Lynch before she went to have a fucking baby. It's like
I
what?
would have. I would have had Kimberly face off with Madison Rain. Madison
Ye-
Rain's done, pretty much. She's on the downturn of her professional career, right? Because she's getting older. She's had her
Is it Madison
accomplishments.
Rain the announcer?
She don't need to be the fucking commentator. She's terrible at that.
I
Just
know.
pull her out. Just pull her out. Put her in this match.
She's only
Um,
34. I feel like she's been in that company like for like 70. She was. I feel like she's been with the TNA since like fucking 2000, whatever. Oh god,
it
she's.
was. You know who could have lost to Kimberly? This next person, Kira Hogan, who they did a video package
Well, she
for.
was driving around in the middle of the pandemic looking for herself, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Fucking.
But Kira Hogan in Impact for the past year or so has been the one who's been jobbing out to everybody, but not this time. She's gonna find herself.
Okay, good. I hope she finds herself in a fucking ditch.
Yeah.
That this was another horrible fucking vignette. Woo!
It was all right. I was like, yeah, they're finally giving Kira something, so that's good.
They should give
Um,
her the boot. I'll tell you that
yeah.
much.
Um, Then they had the locker room segment, which is like the talk show segment that's run by Madison Rain. And the one of the best parts about Impact Wrestling, Johnny Swinger.
Yeah.
And Johnny Swinger is supposed to be like, if you guys remember, he used to be a wrestler who's been in WCW and WWE and ECW and TNA Wrestling, but now he's back in Impact Wrestling. He's older and he has this retro gimmick. He's from the '80s. He is always looking for Rizats and Rizats and pills. And the guest on this talk show was Ken Shamrock. And Johnny Swinger tries to shake his hand, and Ken Shamrock just listens and goes, "I know who you are." And if you guys don't remember this, many months ago, Johnny Swinger took a shit in Ken Shamrock's bag.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Because he thought it was somebody else's bag. And, you know, wrestlers back then, they used to rib each other by taking shits in each other's bags. So I just thought this was really funny where Ken Shamrock's like, "I know who you are."
Yeah.
And then Johnny Swinger realized that he's like, "Oh, I got to go." He sleeps. Anyway, nothing happens here. Michael Elgin comes out and beats the crap out of Ken
Once
Shamrock.
Johnny Swinger left, this thing went down the toilet.
Yeah. And Michael Elgin comes in, beats Ken Shamrock with chairs. And that was it.
That was it. It was bad.
Then you had Sami Callihan in his hacker gimmick calling out Big Michael Elgin, because they're facing off.
So he's a hacker again?
Not again. He is the hacker.
But he was a hacker in NXT.
NXT, yes. But he always said they didn't do the gimmick right, and now he's doing it in Impact the way he wanted it to be done. You know what Sami Callihan is? Sami Callihan is a lot like Chris Jericho in the fact that he knows he has to reinvent himself every few months and stuff. The only difference is he does it not as well.
Yeah, the only difference is Jericho has talent.
Sami Callihan has talent, but he just doesn't.
He does. He had a great match with Tessa. He made the Tessa thing work, but
Sami Callihan, anytime you go see him, he's going to give 110%, and some of his matches are good, but some of his matches are also just like
he gives 110%, but he only has 50% to give. But he's yeah.
Match number 4, Rohit Raju versus Trent.
I can't believe that this goddamn stupid. Look, I'm watching this. I can't believe this company is still surviving. How do they make money? Is anyone buying like Rajit Bajit shirts? Like, what the fuck? Who is spending money on this company at this point?
This company's been around longer than WCW.
It's just insane to me. And it's like when you see people like Hernandez and Madison and whatever the fuck her name is, and even like
Madison Rain,
you just get depressed for them. You're like, wow, nothing happened. Like everyone, and it's like everyone left. Even Eric Young left. Like everyone left and like had a more successful career.
No, but that's what Impact does. It builds new stars that other people they'll eventually go.
I know, but they used to be like people would stay there for years. It just and then. But anyway, let's talk about this match. I don't know. I know I'm supposed to like this match. I did not like this match.
Rohit Raju versus Trey Miguel from the
Rascals.
The Rascals, yeah. This was another contender, number 1 contenders.
How are these two up for the number 1 contendership?
They're pushing. They're trying to push new people, and Trey Miguel's a great wrestler. He did this.
I didn't like this move match.
Where he did the wheelbarrow, and then he just how most people they'll do a wheelbarrow, and then they'll get like Rey Mysterio does it. He does a wheelbarrow.
Yeah,
he does like
he did a lot of Rey Mysterio moves.
Yeah, he did a wheelbarrow. But instead of doing a bulldog, which normally everybody does, he just grabbed Rohit's face and just like kneed him in the face. Like, that was cool. He just wheelbarrow and just went bam right in the face. Trey Miguel wins with a small package. This match was long. This was probably the best match Rohit's ever done.
That's not saying much.
But the reason why this match was so good was because of Trey. Rohit, he was carried through this match.
Yes, yeah, he was. I didn't enjoy it that much.
I like Rohit a lot. He always brings a lot of intensity in the ring. They used to saddle him up with these really shitty gimmicks, the Desi Hit Squad, and he would just be the bump man because they were partnering him and just didn't know how to wrestle.
Yeah, didn't they have that old Indian man who looked like he was like 107?
Gama,
like, how is this guy even getting to the arena? With the
Well, he
old
was like the manager, and his
I know,
son.
but it just
Yeah, Rohit, like I said, was doing. He did a lot, and he
was he a
deserved.
wrestler, Gamma Singh?
Yeah, he was supposedly like a legend.
Where? In his toilet? Where the fuck was he? It's like, why do
Um,
you need this old man if no one's
yeah, but even though I like Rohit and I think he deserves it, something he's not ready for like the main event. You could
yeah,
totally not ready for the main. He needs to be like I don't know, X Division, like a really good run with the X Division title, like
yeah.
But he is not ready for the main event.
Okay, he did wrestle a little bit for WWE. All right,
Yeah.
fuck
Uh,
him.
then you had the Cody Dieter, the what do you call it? I guess his isolation video where he's doing that quarantine thing where he's just like has a roadside thing, and then
This
you
was
had
horrible. This was so unfunny. This
um
wasn't even the worst. This wasn't even the least funniest thing on the show. This was so unfunny. This was so like I don't even know. This is like I can't even say there's YouTube videos that are done in people's basements that are better than this. This is another guy who like didn't go anywhere and he just looks awful. And you're like, oh my god, this
you know
was
what he
terrible.
looks like? He looks like a miniature version of Edge, like like a really weird version of Edge.
You know what it's like?
And
It's like what if I'm trying to think of somebody who had a shitty. What if Steve Austin never stopped being the ringmaster and he was just like the ringmaster
yeah.
still? I'm still the like woo. This was
So
brutal.
if Cody Deaner has like he does like the Larry the Cable Guy kind of gimmick. He's like a get her
Mhm.
done kind of guy, and he basically has a roadside stand, and it's about him just just being in isolation. He's gonna fake wrestle like a tree and stuff.
This
It's
made that basketball segment look like fucking The Godfather. Are you kidding? This was horrible.
but this was like Impact level of entertainment. Do you know what
But
I'm saying?
yeah, but there's like, haha, this is so silly because it's wrestling, and then there's this shit, and this wasn't even the worst thing. We're about to get to the worst fucking thing. This wasn't
Yeah,
even the worst thing.
the North video.
This was the biggest piece of shit.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. I liked the North before this video. The revival. Last week on Talk is Jericho said we want to wrestle the North. Like the North is a
North is
good.
very
I
good.
have
Connection.
yeah, and then they made this fucking video, which took away like that fucking guy that introduced them. Ethan Page is stupid fush. The only person who came out as looking good is Josh Alexander. Everyone else, Ethan Page looked like such an indie level, no talent, no charisma fucking scrub with his muggings to the camera and his stupid fucking lines. They had an announcer who they wouldn't even let through the door at ECW. In the dying days of ECW, they had this fucking even XPW, this cheesy fucking what is that? Their manager? What the
I
fuck
have
is
no
that?
idea who that is. I have
That
no
was
idea who
just
that is.
and it went on and on and on and on and on. And now I think Ethan Page should just retire. And you know what? Ethan Page reminds me of like a really shitty open mic comic that got the headline, and he's like not getting off the stage. This was fucking brutal. Like, and they produced this themselves. They buried them. This isn't like Vince McMahon. And then we're gonna do this with you guys. These two fucking morons did this to themselves. This buried them. If I was the revival, I would put an apology that they even acknowledged they would want to wrestle these two fucking buffoons. They like. This was horrendous.
The
If you want a lesson on how to get yourself over, watch this fucking video.
This is not even the first time they're doing this video. They did it last week too. Did you
Was
watch
it
last
just as
week?
bad? Now I got to go
Yeah,
back and shit.
it was just as bad. It's basically the same thing. And
Why would this go this
no,
long?
this week was worse actually because they just let Ethan Page mug more. I like the
Who
North.
thinks this is funny? His mom? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? This guy had a future. I like the North. Now I like. If I was working for the WWE and like somebody's like, we gotta bring in the North, their contracts are out. I show them this fucking video, and I said I would show Cody this video. Like, no, fuck these guys.
You know what the problem is? The problem is they don't have any opponents right now for them.
But then let them just cut
There's
little
no tag
promos.
team for them.
Let them cut promos in the ring, like, hey, you know what? And I think they're in Canada, right? And they can, hey,
Yeah.
because of Corona, we can't. But we'll be back. Why make this long? Fucking horrendous. It doesn't matter how many opponents. I don't like it. Whoa, boy.
So I know
Ethan Page has zero. I've never seen. I'm like, I like these guys, and I'm like, what the fuck?
So if we're gonna start doing this thing where we do weekly Impact reviews, we should put out a disclaimer to everybody. When you're watching Impact, you cannot watch it with the same level of you're watching WWE or AEW. This is like, it's
But I
not
don't.
fair.
And
Yeah,
this was disappointing for 2011 TNA. If this was on a 2010 TNA show, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? This is bad.
you
This
need
is
to
not.
watch Impact Wrestling as like, what if there was a wrestling company that had a really, really, really low budget and not enough talent, and
What if there
that's
was
how
a
you have
wrestling company that was supposed to go out of business 5 years ago and did it, and somehow they just kept going?
fun.
And this is what
Uh,
it would be. I mean, this is like beyond a zombie promotion at this
yeah,
point. But this was so bad. This was so. How could they improve this? This
I
is
have
what
no
got me
idea.
angry that I was watching the show.
Yeah.
The show, I was like, and then what got me angry is that these guys made this. Like, what got me angry is I can see an alternate universe where these guys got signed by WWE and did
Yeah.
nothing for 2 years and then did a podcast, and they were like, we had so much talent and everybody loved us, and if we just had our own ideas, it would have been so much better. And then they put this shit. I was like, no, your ideas suck. That's why
It,
when these guys, I pitched to Vince all the time my ideas, and they didn't want to do them. Yeah, because half these retards are pitching shit like this, like, and then I'll just mug to the camera, like, oh, and we'll have like this guy in a suit, and he'll just give me this big intro, and we'll make a Rocky joke, and it'll be really, and then we'll do these wacky camera angles. What do you think, Vince and Bruce Pritchard? That'll get me over, and they're just, you know what I mean? I bet you half these
yeah.
idiots go to Vince with this shit, with this putrid shit.
This, what do you call it? When this the like when I used to watch Impact, I would watch it in like 25 minutes because I would just skip all the things I didn't want to watch.
No, we're doing this post show
Oh
every fucking
man,
week.
this show drags. It does drag.
Dude, this felt like a 4-hour Raw.
Did you watch? There was a Rosemary segment after this that I didn't understand at all.
Yeah, that was
She's at a
also what the hell
she's
am I
at a
watching?
bar. She's been doing this the past few weeks. I just been fast forwarding. She's at a bar. I don't know what's going on.
Can I tell you something? Matt Hardy was the best and the worst thing ever in this company, because now they try to give every wrestler a Matt Hardy sketch,
Yeah,
and none of them can pull it off.
no, not really. Then you had Chris Bay, who I don't know if you remember Chris Bay. Chris Bay is a very interesting story. Chris Bay, back in October, was kind of getting a push from Impact Wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like they brought him in with like entrance music, and he came down to the ring, and he beat a jobber, and then I think, and then around like October, sometime in October, he ends up like, it was like right after like he came out 1 week on Impact, like they're like, oh, this is gonna be a new fresh face on Impact. The following week, or the same fucking week, he ends up jobbing on 205 Live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they just scrapped him on Impact. They just scrapped him. Like, you just stop here. You just like, he comes out 1 week, entrance music, beats up a jobber. They're like, oh, it's Chris Bay. Chris Bay. He jobs out in 205. You don't hear about him again.
Remember when they signed him, it was a big deal. I remember that. They're like, we got Chris Bay.
Yeah. And then
And like,
that's what happened. And then
some wrestling nerds were like going ballistic. Yeah, Impact has Chris Bay. Oh my god.
I remember watching this going, yeah, I was one of those guys. I remember watching him on 205 and going, why the fuck did this moron agree to job out on 205? Why did he do this?
So I forget this segment. What was he doing again?
So now he's back on Impact, and now they're giving him somewhat of a push. And he went to Johnny Swinger. He's basically like a troublemaker.
Oh,
Yeah, he went to Johnny Swinger and was like, hey, Willie Mack is talking trash about you. Did you see the fat lip that Chris Bay was sporting?
No, I didn't see it.
His lips are uneven. It's like light here, and then it's huge. And then it looked like he ate seafood, man. And then you had Swinger and Willie Mack, and they were supposed to be like a tag team, the Mack and Pack connection, and they set up a match for next week. Willie Mack has no mic skills whatsoever.
No. And he's fat. He's visually unappealing.
I do not understand the appeal of Willie Mack.
I don't either. I don't. He dresses. He accentuates his flaws in everything he does. And again, this is why, like, and I'm not saying like, well, WWE is the best, but this is why sometimes some of these guys need direction to be like, all right, what if you dress like this, and what if you did this, and what if you did that, and then fit yourself around it, because some of these guys let their own devices, they bury themselves. They really do. Willie Mack has a great moveset, and he has a certain type of charisma, but he kills it by how he dresses and how he talks.
He doesn't even have that great of a moveset. He just does every indie move. He just does like a Stone Cold Stunner, standing moonsault. He just does.
Basically, you just want Willie Mack to kill himself.
The first time I ever saw Willie Mack was in Lucha Underground, and at first it was interesting because it's like a big dude moving like that. But then the more you watch him, the more you realize he's basic.
Yeah.
You know, nothing really flashy about him, and he doesn't. When he's doing any kind of talking segment, he just like he talks like this. There's no emotion.
Yeah, something's got to give with this guy. But
He's got no emotion. He's like, oh, I guess I'll fight you next week. It's like, okay, all right, man. That's it.
I mean, the least he can do is change his gear, but
change his gear. Get some new moves. Change up your move set, man. Stop doing every single fucking indie move. Just think outside the. Watch some Regal tapes.
I think he just thinks to himself, well, if it looks impressive because I'm a fatso. And it's like, no, it looks stupid.
Yeah. You know what? It would be, but now there's tons of fat guys who can move like that. You're not unique anymore. Anyway, we get down to our final match. Match number 6, Suicide versus Moose for the TNA title. I think. I have no idea. This wasn't bad. Bad.
I think Moose gave Suicide a little bit too much in this match, and Madison Rayne and Josh Matthews were killing me with the commentary.
Who's Suicide this time? Is it TJ Perkins again?
No, he's because he's himself. No, the guy's too big to be TJ Perkins. Like I don't know who it is. Well, I guess we'll find out. I can't believe they still have Suicide. They're still using that gimmick. I think that's so funny. It was created just for that video game.
Yeah.
And they're still using it.
I think WWE should do stuff like that. They should just any of their old gimmicks that have
Sin Cara.
Yeah, just put like, hey, we have a new indie jobber guy. Put him under the Sin Cara mask. Let him fucking job out to Lashley. Make Lashley look strong, and we also get to give this guy experience. That's about it, and without hurting his credibility. You know, I don't know, do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. So
Moose wins with a spear. Not a bad match. It was okay. It was okay for a Moose match. That's it. And that was Impact.
Not a good start to our recap. They got a lot to fix. I don't know if they're going to be able to fix it.
They're not.
They will really. I mean, you know what? There was a segment with Matt Hardy versus AJ Styles from 2011, and people shit on that year. It looks a million times better than whatever the fuck we were watching. That really. I think Impact's the show that is hurt the most without crowd, which is surprising because they've been without crowds now for 20 years. But
yeah, they've been doing empty arena matches, good one, for the past month now. Impact Wrestling, I always say this to people, is you should watch it like you're scoping out new talent. That's the only reason why you should be watching. Like, hey, this guy, I feel like he's gonna be big one day. If you watch it like that.
Back in the old days, you could kind of watch and be invested. Like TNA, I love this company, but now it's like once you get it connected with someone, I feel like they just leave. So
you cannot watch this to like follow it weekly storylines. You'll kill yourself.
Yeah, the storylines are like all over the place. They never really have an ending. Even back in the old days, they didn't really have endings. The stories they just kind of meandered, and then the guy left.
Yeah. If you try to watch this following the storylines, you're going to lower your standards in life. So don't do it.
But we will be bitching and moaning about the storylines as we've upped the ante. We have committed to wrestling full time now. You want to give you a quick? I didn't watch much of AEW. I didn't only watch a few minutes of AEW.
All right, I'll go through Dark real quick. AEW Dark for the past, I don't know, months, even before this pandemic happened. AEW Dark was like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. It used to be when it first started like an hour, but then it somehow went to like 30 minutes when the new year started. Now, tonight's episode was an hour and 13 minutes. They had so many matches. I'm going to go over all the matches real quick. First match, by the way, Taz and Excalibur, one of my favorite commentary teams, was doing commentary tonight. They're great. You had Captain Sean Dean, who's been jobbing out on AEW Dark versus Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana wins with a Superman pin. Match number 2, Mike Reed and Ryan Rembrandt versus Jurassic Express. We're talking Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy making their return to AEW since the pandemic. They win with the Jurassic Express wins with an assisted cutter. Then you had match number 3, Lee Johnson and Musa versus Private Party, who's also making their return back. Private Party wins. I think they had Mark Quinn did a moonsault, and then not a moonsault. He did a shooting star press, and he went for the cover and won. Mm-hmm. Match number 4, John Cruz versus 10 from the Dark Order. Now this is very interesting. By the way, when you're watching AEW Dark, none of these are complete squashes. They give a lot of the jobbers a lot of offense, and it's almost like a tryout because number 10 in this match, he used to be one of these jobbers on AEW Dark. He would lose in matches, and he looked good that they signed him, and now he's part of Dark Order. And him versus John Cruz, I gotta mention this match because it was short, but do you know how Liv Morgan's been doing that Oblivion finisher, where she runs with you? They try to do that move tonight, and they fucked it up.
See, Liv Morgan's the best.
Yeah, they fuck it up. 10 wins with a spine buster. Match number 5. This was the best match. We watched close to 5 hours of wrestling. This was the best match tonight. Alan Angels, who, if you remember, he was the jobber who fought Kenny Omega a couple of weeks ago on Dynamite. And he got a lot of offense, and people got all fucking mad about that. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Versus the returning Phoenix from the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, yeah, this match I saw a little bit of.
This match was great. This match was very good. There was this point where Angels puts him in a small package, but then Phoenix gets out of it. He does an Asai moonsault and just kicks him right in the face. There's a moment where he bounces from the bottom of the rope to the top of the rope and hits him with a missile drop kick. Phoenix wins with a muscle buster spun into an inverted inverted pile driver. Taz and Excalibur have so much fun this match too. Taz mentions a Tanaka reference during a chop, and Excalibur doesn't respond to that, and Taz goes "Oh, you're just gonna no sell that?" Come on, man! I was waiting for someone to do a chop, to do a Tanaka reference. I loved it. That's one of my favorite commentary teams. They have such great chemistry, and they know wrestling. They just know all these moves, call it out. Match number 6: Danny Jordan versus Chris Statlander, also making a return. Danny Jordan, if you don't remember, she was that really small girl who's always in the audience in Dynamite. Very, very adorable. Chris Statlander wins with the Big Bang Theory pile driver, which is it's almost like a Michinoku driver. Jason Cade versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yes, I saw a little bit of, yeah.
Orange Cassidy does an arm drag while his hands are in his pockets. That was kind of interesting to watch. It's an arm drag with his both his arms in his pocket. Orange wins with a cover. Then match number 6, Skylar Moore versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker wins with the lockjaw. And match number 9 was Luther versus Jimmy Havoc, which they had built to from previous shows, which I did not get to watch.
Okay. Hey, Dave Meltzer says all the kids across the nation love Orange Cassidy. You think that's true?
By the way, very important thing to mention about AEW Dark: all the referees in every single match was wearing a mask, a face mask.
Do you think the kids love Orange Cassidy?
Yeah, I think everybody likes Orange Cassidy. He's fucking over, dude.
The kids in the high school that don't go to high school anymore, you think they're sitting there being like, Orange Cassidy's the best. Dave Meltzer's so cool.
I don't think he means literally all the kids, but I think he's just meaning figuratively. Hey, all the kids everybody, when you say everybody hates Seth Rollins, you don't really mean everybody.
No, I mean everybody at this point.
Yeah, but it's kind of like saying that. I think Orange Cassidy is super, super popular. There's no denying he's not popular. People dress up like him everywhere. It's annoying.
Okay, well, well, fuck them. Well, they don't do it now because there's no crowds. Okay, so that is our recap. Tomorrow I will be here with Ashley. We're going to be talking about The Strain, and then Thursday we're going to be back talking about the Wednesday Night Wars and NXT UK. Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
What do you think of the Impact post show? You
What
like it?
Impact
Do you,
show?
I mean, do you think that we should keep
Oh,
doing this?
us doing this? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
fine
why
with it.
not?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
gives
What
a, I
else?
mean,
What else are you doing?
well, see, yeah, nobody's watching those other episodes I was putting up, so fuck it. All right,
Yeah.
guys.
See you.
I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning into the Impact Post Show.